Have you seen Mr. Wilbur's teeth? They look horrible. It's like they will fall out at any second. Oh, believe me, you're unbelievably lucky you sit in the back of the class. That way you can't smell his sewage breath. It's like someone died in there. As I heard the two girls talking, I could feel my heart speeding like a race car. I couldn't believe that my own students, my beloved pupils, were talking about me like this behind my back. As I listened to them, their voices turned into a murmur until I could barely distinguish words anymore. Everything around me started fading away and I felt more and more lightheaded. I looked around and all I could see were blurry faces, staring at me in confusion. All of a sudden, I collapsed in the hallway of the high school I was teaching at. I had no idea that at that very moment I could literally die of what seemed to be nothing more than a superficial oral infection. Even though this was one of the most traumatizing events of my life, I will be forever grateful for it. I know it may sound shocking, but please listen to what I'm about to say next. Because this was the first step of my unbelievable journey, at the end of which I discovered a Kenyan tribe's incredible and well-kept secret for perfect teeth. And why the entire medical community is in utter shock because of it. Especially considering the fact that the people who invented this almost magical potion have never seen, touched, let alone used a toothbrush or toothpaste in their entire lives. This just goes to show how easy it is to get rid of infections and inflammations while also building stronger and sturdier gums and teeth. This Kenyan solution is as cheap as it is simple and efficient, and no matter how bad your teeth, gums, and breath are right now, it is guaranteed to give your dental health a full and complete recovery. A sacred East African ritual which has been thoroughly studied, and its beneficial effects have been confirmed by over a dozen independent sources, such as the world-renowned Reuters agency and by VPRO Metropolis, a European Union-founded news source, as well as other medical and dental institutes. No more cavities or painful and bleeding gums. No more of that metallic taste of blood in your mouth. No more bad breath or yellow stains. Just 100% clean, pearly whites that you can always be proud of. It's a simple evening ritual that takes place before brushing your teeth, and it costs nothing more than just a couple of pennies a day. It was only when I started using it too, I was finally successful in erasing any mark of advanced periodontal disease. And it happened in mere weeks. After months of surgeries, treatments, and expensive medication, I managed to regain my health, dignity, and most importantly, my confidence back. All this while my teeth went from this to this. They got stronger, brighter, and sturdier, and I rid myself of the shame and humiliation of bad breath. Look, I know that you brush your teeth, and you probably never miss an appointment with your dentist. But if you are here, it means that you are still struggling with your oral health. But worry not, because in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to explain the reason why your body turned against your very own teeth. And no, this is not an autoimmune disease. It is just your body desperately trying to save your life by going into conservation mode, while your teeth are just collateral damage. We know now that Big Pharma has lied about the real cause of gum disease, bad breath, and tooth decay. Recent undeniable evidence finally shows that it has nothing to do with how good your oral hygiene is, and even less to do with how strong your teeth are. The real culprit behind this is actually a germ that hides deep inside your gums and all around your teeth, silently corroding your teeth's roots, while it eats away at your all-important and extremely fragile gums. And even though your own dentist will recommend you pay a small fortune for deep cleaning treatments, they will be powerless against the abilities of these germs. They are able to multiply by millions every single day inside your mouth. From there, they make their way to your throat, nose, and airways, where they ultimately leave trails of poison that spread throughout your whole body. From the moment you discover what these germs are, not only will you hold the absolute power of rebuilding your gums and teeth, while putting an end to the ceaseless bleeding and uncomfortable swelling. You will also rid yourself of problems such as bad breath and yellow-stained teeth, while forgetting all about bothersome side effects such as teeth grinding, sudden stabbing pains in your teeth and gums, or recurring inflammation. No matter if you are 18 or 80 years old, no matter how long you've been trying to repair your gums and teeth, and no matter what your medical condition is, this solution is going to make you forget about every dental problem you ever had. Are your gums inflamed? or bleeding and filling your mouth with a metallic taste? Not anymore. Are you feeling consistent pain in your teeth and you can't open your mouth because you're too afraid to scare people away with the smell? This amazing natural solution from the remote Kenyan village will help you stop all of that in a matter of weeks. No more insufferable pain and bad breath. No more taking life-threatening risks with infections or ineffective painkillers that leave you in the same agonizing, pulsating suffering. Imagine never having to feel that shame and embarrassment when you lean in to kiss your spouse or your children, and they turn their heads away in disgust at the mere smell of your breath or sight of your broken teeth. Instead, never give a second thought to the things you eat and being able to brush your teeth without feeling the fear of seeing that red color when you spit or feeling that metallic taste taking over your mouth. Talk, smile, and laugh with a confidence like you never had or experienced before, and feel how stunning your pearly whites are every day. And forget once and for all the sound of the dentist's drill. Join the other 143,600 people whose lives have made a 180-degree turn and are now able to smile and show off their amazing white teeth with pride and joy. People like Jonathan C., 55, from Alabama, Texas, who told us, "Now, before I tell you my story, I just want to make one thing clear. I was skeptical from the beginning. But that all changed when I first tried this ritual. The results were absolutely staggering. I literally went from having decaying yellow teeth and rotten breath to the point where I cannot stop smiling. I am so proud of my super white teeth now, I cannot thank you enough. And all in a matter of weeks. Thanks." Or Kelsey H., 49, from Tennessee. "I had already tried pretty much every other solution available on the market, but to no use. Not even my dentist thought there was anything to be done about my inflamed gums and my horrible cavities. To be frank, I was pretty desperate. Not even in my wildest dreams did I imagine such a dirt-cheap solution would be the one that would save me from the thousands of dollars I would have eventually spent on surgery. Needless to say, I am as impressed as I am thankful for this discovery. It turned my life around. I will forever be grateful for giving me back my happy years." Owen W., 67, from California, told us this: "I was at a very low point in my life. My marriage was falling apart. Most friends were not even visiting anymore, all because of my bad breath and my despicable, horrendous teeth. And it wasn't even my fault. I really don't blame myself. I brush my teeth every day. I pay regular visits to the dentist. But I still ended up like that. I searched everywhere for something that could help me, and when I stumbled across your formula, I could not believe my eyes. It sounded too good, and too cheap too, to be true, but the results made me tear up. In a month, my dental health was no longer a problem for me. I was finally able to kiss my wife, go out with my friends, and most of all, laugh out loud without caring about my breath. After all, it is fresh now. Thank you for giving me the tools to regain my happiness once again." And these are just a few of the countless messages I receive from people whose lives have been changed by this amazing discovery. Before I get into detail, in the next 5 minutes, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and about how my discovery sent the dental industry in utter shock and saved thousands of honest Americans the money, pain, and suffering of going through implants, or even worse, sadistic and torturous medical procedures. My name is Frank Wilbur. I am a 57-year-old chemistry professor from a small town in Kansas. My entire life, I was raised by my parents and grandparents with their homegrown foods. I used to enjoy living in the countryside because of my connection with nature and its amazing elements. That was also part of why I became a chemistry teacher in the first place. I was amazed by how complex and at the same time by how interesting the reactions between simple elements were found in nature were. I would say for the most part, my life has been pretty uneventful. I married my beautiful wife and lifelong friend Chloe when I was 30. And since then we have had 3 beautiful children, Tony, Sarah, and Andrew. We never considered moving out of the city, at least not until I received an offer to teach at a prestigious high school in California. So we took our kids and moved to the big city. At that point, I did not know this would be the most dreadful, yet also the most incredible experience of my life. Now, before I go on further with my story, you should know that my entire life I had the strongest teeth. Everyone would compliment me on how white my pearls were, and how incredibly fresh my breath always smelled. I was very proud of my dental hygiene. Of course, like any other person, I still went to the dentist for regular checkups, and every time I walked into his office, he used to tell me that I had the healthiest teeth he had ever seen. But all that changed shortly after we moved to California. At first, it wasn't all that bad. I just noticed a slightly pink tone to the water I spit out after brushing my teeth. My gums felt a little sore and swollen, and when I ate cold things, such as ice cream, a barely noticeable pain zapped my teeth. As I said, I did not pay too much attention to that. I just went on with my life, thinking that it was going to go away sooner rather than later. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. In just a matter of weeks, the pink tone turned into a scarlet one that left a strident, metallic taste in my mouth. The swollen gums became absolutely inflamed, and the pain I felt in my teeth compared to nothing else I had ever experienced. On top of that, my breath no longer had that fresh smell, but instead was replaced with a gut-wrenching, repulsive stench that made everyone turn their heads away in disgust every time I started talking to them. I started becoming virtually addicted to painkillers. I would take as many of them as I needed in order to make the pain slightly fade away, but eventually, those became as useless as simple candy. I knew I needed to visit a dentist, but I was horrified. I, a grown man, was absolutely terrified at the thought of seeing a specialist. But I gathered the strength to do it, and honestly, I regretted every second of it. Of course, he started telling me about the problems I had. 8 cavities, half of them that were so deep that the nerves supporting the teeth were already dead, which was actually the reason behind my insufferable pain. 2 infected gum pockets, which explained my foul, putrid breath. A massive chunk of tartar on more than half of my teeth, and worst of all, periodontitis. As you might know, periodontitis is a disease that affects the gums, but it can also affect your teeth. It can lead to infections, inflamed gums, and can ultimately cause your very teeth to fall out. The treatment? I needed crowns, implants, and probably surgery. In other words, big bucks. The total cost of all these procedures would sum up to somewhere around $25,000. That was a huge part of the money I had saved for my retirement, and it pained my heart knowing that it would be gone in the blink of an eye. I could only hear the buzzing noises of that cold, hellish drill, chipping away at my teeth, painful anesthetics inserted with long, pointy needles directly in my already damaged gums. And don't even get me started on the buckets of blood that were gushing out of my mouth. About the only good thing I could say was that I was happy my poor tongue was still intact after all those interventions. But as you can already imagine, nothing, but absolutely nothing, helped. The doctor said that my gums were incredibly weak, so they would not be able to hold any implants. And one of the only solutions was pocket elimination surgery. So what you're telling me is that I have to undergo a torturous, painful, and incredibly expensive surgery just so I can pay more and more money that I don't have for some implants that are not even 100% guaranteed to work? I bursted at my dentist. If you ever suffered from these things, I think you know how it makes you feel. I was reduced to nothing but a shadow of my joyous, energetic self. I fell into a serious depression, and I could no longer teach with the same passion. And when I came back home, my wife would not even be able to kiss me due to my dental issues. I was at a very low point in my life. And unfortunately, that was only the beginning. One day, it all escalated to the point where I almost died of an oral infection. Everything started so menially. I had no idea how life-changing that day was going to be for me. I was walking the hallways of the high school I was teaching at when I overheard 2 students talking about something. I wouldn't have batted an eye, or an ear in this case, had I not heard my name in their conversation. "Have you seen Mr. Wilbur's teeth? They look horrendous. It's like they'll fall out at any second. Oh, believe me, you're unbelievably lucky you sit in the back of the class. That way, you can't smell his sewage breath. It's like someone died in there." As I was passing them, I was on the verge of tears. My students, my beloved students, talking about me like that. I could feel my world crumbling around me. At that point, my heart felt just like the engine of a racing car. I felt the blood flowing from head to toes, pulsating through my veins like the most resounding drum. Looking around, I could notice how everything started fading away. The students' dialogues became a slight murmur until I couldn't hear them anymore, and everything became black. The last thing I remember before I collapsed onto the cold, hard floor of the hallway was how every student and teacher gathered around me, trying to see if I was still breathing. Next thing I knew, I woke up in a hospital bed surrounded by my concerned family. As it turned out, my oral infection was not superficial at all. Apparently, it had already spread to my brain, causing a brain abscess. I could have died, and I wouldn't have even known why. And then the doctor came to me and informed me that because of my poor dental hygiene, coronary disease was a possibility too, since the infection can spread through the blood and right into the heart. It was appalling, especially since, out of all the people I knew, that I had done everything in my power to maintain my teeth in perfect shape. I don't think there are enough words to describe the way I felt. I was sad, discouraged, and most of all, angry. Everything had been just fine with my oral health before I moved here to California. But now, my inflamed gums and my loose, decaying teeth were not only putting my oral health in danger, but my life too. A huge sense of hopelessness struck me. I went to the dentist again and again and again, and every time it was the same thing. I even started developing a condition when every time I felt that cold, clean smell of a dental office, my legs started shaking. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was nearly suicidal. Not a day went by when I thought that it would be better for my family and for myself if I ended it all. No more spending money, no more worrying. Everybody would be better off without me. My wife would eventually find someone that was not as repulsive as I was. My children would have more money in their college fund. And my students would even get a teacher that they could look in the eye without having to turn their heads around every time he opened his mouth. I was that desperate. But then something amazing happened. One day, one of my oldest friends, Dr. Mason, came to my house. Dr. Mason is one of the most brilliant chemists I have ever met. He has dual PhDs in both molecular biology and organic chemistry. At the local university, he was regarded as one of the most incredible minds of his generation. Instead of trying to cheer me up the classical way and being the funny character that I know he can be, he decided to joke about my condition by showing me a documentary about the amazing oral health of Kenyan tribes and how these people who had never touched or even seen a tube of toothpaste in their entire lives had better teeth than most of us who carefully brush our teeth every day. Half a dozen groups of scientists conducted a multitude of studies and came to the same conclusion. Even though they had no contact with modern civilization whatsoever, these Aborigines had better pearly whites than most Caucasians. "And look how your teeth are now," Dr. Mason laughed joyously. I admit, he made me wonder. On one hand, I was in danger of losing all my teeth under the constant threat of something I didn't even understand. Everyone I knew was repulsed by me, and every single dollar that I had spent at the dentist just made me poorer, not healthier. On the other hand, we have these Kenyan natives who had absolutely no problem with their teeth, even after years of only chewing on raw foods, plants, and who knows what else. Needless to say, I was frustrated, but I couldn't stand doing nothing. Thus, I decided it was time to spend all my free time researching this lead. I was ready to turn the world upside down to get my answer. There was one question that was boggling my mind. How can decades and decades of medical advancements amount to almost nothing when it comes to actually solving dental problems? And more importantly, how can these Kenyan tribes have these incredibly white teeth with no technology at all? Most of the time, I would go to the local university's library, turning every page, searching and skimming through every book that I could find on this subject. I also did a lot of research online, since I had access to a plethora of exclusive scientific databases thanks to my profession, and courtesy of Dr. Mason as well. For a little over a month, I barely ate, slept, or even talked to my family. Every time I thought I found something, I realized I hit a dead end. It felt like every bit of effort I was putting into this was pointless. And I was ready to give up, until I found the controversial article that confirmed my previous theory. Here's what it said. Recent research discovered that the majority of the food we consume these days is saturated with a series of toxic, poisonous, incredibly harmful ingredients that are damaging not only to our bodies, but our oral system as well. If you think about it, It makes a lot of sense. After all, our mouths are the initial point of contact with every bit of food that we eat. Everything that we eat reflects in our dental condition. Plus, more and more chemicals are added to what we eat by the day. Our food is becoming more and more processed. This is causing a clear link to emerge between the rise in teeth problems in the last 80 years and the poisoned food that we eat. Don't take my word for it, as the numbers speak for themselves. Here is an example. As much as you would protect yourself from dangerous chemicals, it is impossible to be safe. Chemical compounds that occur naturally, such as metals or nitrates, are always present in the soil the food is grown in, the water, and even in the air that we breathe. According to the European Food Safety Authority, as well as to a study conducted by a top team of scientists from the National Center for Biotechnology Information, elements such as mycotoxins, aflatoxins, and acrylamide that are environmental pollutants are affecting more than a quarter of the crops and end up in our foods. And that doesn't even begin to show how much of our soil is infested with them. These are all chemicals that are a danger to your body, but are present in the very thing that you need to keep yourself alive. On the other hand, we also have chemicals that are supposed to help us. Triphosphates, for example, are used as preservatives or flavor enhancers. They can be found in almost everything, ranging from sauces and meats to bread, fish products, or even ice cream. And even though the human body needs phosphorus, the widespread use of this element makes people likely to consume it in excess. Study after study, including a recent one published by the amazing scientists of InTech Open, shows that increased doses of phosphates can lead to diseases such as osteoporosis, kidney dysfunction, and even affect the circulatory system. And it's not about what's found in our foods, but what is found on them as well. Research conducted by the brilliant scientists from the Environmental Health Journal show that food packaging is another major contributor to chemical pollution in our daily diets. And what is even more revolting is that even though we know that a lot of them are hazardous substances, we have no information about so many others and how they can affect our bodies. It's outrageous. Normally, the quantity of sugar ingested by the human body should be no more than 10% of a person's maximum calorie intake, which is approximately 13 teaspoons of sugar per day. However, studies show that the average American consumes over 42 teaspoons of sugar per day. That is 3 times more than normal. However you look at it, there is no way to escape these poisons. You have to make a seemingly impossible choice. You either eat to keep yourself alive, and you will wind up destroying your teeth, or choose to save your teeth while sacrificing your very life. I did not stop there. I had to know more about this, so I had to read each and every medical book that I could get my hands on. And all of them pointed in the same direction. When it comes to protecting your teeth and gums, your saliva is the go-to substance. But that wasn't all. Saliva was only part of the problem. There was one more thing that caught my eye. Something very simple, yet incredibly impactful on your oral health. The quality and acidity of your blood. And since your blood is the only thing that can reach even the deepest areas of your teeth's roots, this is crucial in your oral health. First, the way saliva works is that once you put something in your mouth, this bodily fluid is supposed to break down every bite, breaking carbohydrates down to simple sugars while clearing it of any substances that are normally harmful to your body. Here's the main purpose of your saliva, which most people don't know. It is supposed to act like a guardian, defending your gums and teeth. It cleans your mouth and it eliminates the toxic substances found in the drinks we drink and the foods we eat. Another amazing thing about this natural cleanser is that it can reach literally everywhere inside your mouth, especially under your gums, where not even the best dentist tools can. It purifies the place, and not only does it provide proteins and minerals to your tissues, but it also has antibacterial properties too. Basically, saliva is your mouth's most powerful natural defense system against all forms of tooth decay or gum inflammation. And it's the only natural thing your body has to use in the fight against periodontitis and other oral diseases. Just as an example of how powerful saliva is and how our body has always known that, even though we didn't, if you think about it, We have always used saliva instinctively as a means to clean surfaces. And a number of studies have shown that this instinct is right. Saliva is more powerful than any of the cleaning products used on the market. Knowing this, I could not help but wonder, if saliva is such a powerful agent, then what's wrong with mine? What was the difference between my saliva and that of Kenyan tribes? Why was theirs so much stronger than mine? Soon I found out that even though I was looking in the right direction, I was completely asking the wrong questions. After some research, I found out that the problem was not my saliva, but the foods and drinks it had to deal with. Statistics have shown that while African countries are not as rich economically, their diets are way better and have a higher quality than the ones in the US, for example. Now, it was no surprise that a tribe who has never seen nor touched toothpaste in their entire lives had those sturdy white teeth while I was struggling with my oral health, even though I paid thousands in dentist fees and underwent expensive interventions and treatments. If we go back to thousands of years ago and look at the teeth of the cavemen that preceded us, we can clearly see that their teeth were stronger and healthier than ours, even though their diet consisted mostly of raw meats. Hence the question, where did everything change for us, the people in the modern world? Well, the root cause is pretty simple. Our saliva has barely changed in the last centuries because even though the human body is smart enough to evolve, it can't keep up with the pace with modern advancements and technologies. And these are not always healthy for our system. If you think about it, it's almost as if we are fighting nuclear weapons with a wooden shield. The substances and chemicals they add to our foods are way too strong for our saliva, so it is not able to properly dissolve them. Just think about it. Foods that have become a main part of our diet, such as fast food, sauces, juices, and even the coffee that you consume every morning, were very rarely consumed decades ago and not at all thousands of years ago. But nowadays, it's completely different. Our saliva has stayed the same for centuries, if not millennia, and our foods have completely been tampered with. No wonder ancient people had better teeth than us, despite their raw diets. Now, to get to the second part of the problem, blood acidity. Our saliva breaks down the substances in our foods that eventually end up being ingested and absorbed by your blood. Research conducted by the National Center for Biotechnology Information shows that in recent years, more and more foods and additives have the potential to raise our blood's acidity. Now, if the saliva isn't strong enough to destroy those dangerous substances, the acidity in your blood will result in vascular diseases. But those are not the only things you should worry about. Since your gums are strongly vascularized, the more acidic your blood is, the higher risk of inflamed gums. Think of it this way. The bad stuff in your food poisons your mouth, which in turn poisons your blood, that ultimately ends up damaging your gums and teeth. It's a never-ending, vicious cycle. However much we would want this to not be true, sadly, no saliva can handle the powerful toxic chemicals that our food has been poisoned with. And even though we hate to admit it, none of the state-of-the-art medical solutions can solve our oral problems. Why? The answer is simple. They don't address the root cause. Now here's something I can share with you from my own experience. And I think this little piece of information is going to save you a lot of time and money. Picture this. You go to the dentist and tell him that you want to get your gums and teeth fixed. He starts listing his prices. First of all, you are going to need gum grafts. Those are about $600 per gum and can get to even $1,000 depending on how bad the damage is. But you have absolutely no guarantee that they're going to work. Plus, they're only temporary. They are not going to stop the toxic chemicals from damaging them again. Secondly, fillings and root canals for your already destroyed teeth. Worst case scenario? $2,000 each. And that doesn't include the time and pain you have to go through sitting in that god-awful chair and listening to the horrible drilling sounds as the dentist butchers through your mouth. Third intervention would be pocket elimination surgery. You can even pay the exorbitant sum of $6,000. And for what? It's not even permanent, and it doesn't deal with the harmful bacteria and germs that are still there. Finally, implants. This is where you lose your teeth and start replacing them with copies that cost up to $4,500. Want to know the worst part? You're going to have to wait for more than 18 months to see if the intervention was successful or not. And remember, implants are not forever either. And not only can they be unsuccessful, but even if you had the money to pay for the most advanced surgery and the best implants, they will never fit in properly if your gums are not strong enough for that. Then all your money you'll have spent would have been in vain. Are you willing to go through this ordeal knowing that at the end of the day, the food that you eat will destroy your year's work in a matter of mere minutes? And on top of that, the chemicals that dentists use can harm your teeth as well. Just imagine, the very substances they use to fix your teeth are one of the things that are going to contribute to their destruction. When our organism senses the poisonous toxins in your mouth that are there because of the foods that we eat, it sends an army of toxin neutralizers to fight them as an immune response. As it does that, our body has little regard for our teeth, and it ends up damaging them in the process. After all, its main purpose is to shield itself from dangerous substances. Now, the toxin neutralizers may save your body by attacking these toxins, but they are sure to attack your teeth and gums too. Your oral system becomes the victim of a two-pronged attack. On one hand, we have the poisonous chemicals found in food and drinks that directly damage your teeth and gums. And on the other, we have your very own body that seeks only to defend itself, with your mouth becoming nothing more than collateral damage. These substances act like acid upon your teeth, corroding them and making your gums bleed too. Now let's put this into perspective. No matter how much you would want to protect yourself, the siege on your oral system begins at the same moment when you take your first bite of food or take the first sip of your most beloved juice. From that moment on, no medical intervention or treatment can fight neither the substances in your food nor the ones that your body sends to protect you. Like a snake that eats its own tail, your body is trapped in an endless cycle. It's either your teeth or your very life. And we both know what your body will choose. When I thought about all this, I felt like I was stranded on a deserted island. I knew everything I needed to know about the root cause of my issues, but I had absolutely no idea what to do about it. At the very least, now I could tell Dr. Mason why those Kenyan tribes are miles ahead of me when it comes to teeth health. I didn't even imagine that telling him this would end up being one of the most amazing ideas I ever had. Well, Frank, I thought you had teeth problems, not that you were blind. How can you not see it when it's right under your nose? Dr. Mason said to me, smiling. He saw right through the problem. According to him, all that we had to do was to combine both traditional, natural, and modern ingredients in order to find the perfect solution that could neutralize the chemicals. To put it simply, we needed to come up with a healing mixture that would support the saliva in the detoxifying process. Everything was bright as day. We would have to start with the 100% natural ingredients that the Kenyans used in their diets, find their main compounds, and obtain them from the most natural, untampered with herbs. Then, we would have to combine them with modern, risk-free substances that were known to combat chemicals and toxins. Now, the last thing we needed to do was to create a formula that was as similar to saliva as possible. It had to reach every single corner of the oral system and, most importantly, under the gums and pockets, while also being outstandingly bioabsorbable. Like this, it can act very quickly, stopping the spread of chemicals and toxins inside your mouth. It would be completely painless, causing no stress to your oral system. The only way we could achieve this was by making the recipe in the form of a dropper. By sprinkling a few drops of this organic, natural, and risk-free liquid in your mouth and swirling it around for a few seconds, your mouth is shielded from the dangerous effects of foreign substances. Now, considering that all of the substances are going to be absorbed in your blood, it makes perfect sense that you would only want the nutritious elements in your food to get inside your body. That's why this product not only strengthens your saliva, but it also makes sure that only the best nutrients are absorbed into your bloodstream. Since it was clear that we were unstoppable together, Dr. Mason and I decided to work as a team. With our chemistry knowledge combined, we would be able to come up with the perfect list of ingredients and quantities to use for this magic formula. We worked for days, even weeks, testing every possible ingredient, quantity, and the effects they had on saliva. After more sleepless nights than I could count, we finally made it. We created the most powerful 100% natural, risk-free, active, and detoxifying supplement. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, what does it contain that makes it that powerful, and how is it going to work for me? Well, let's take it step by step and see why this amazing, never-before-seen liquid will positively affect your gums, teeth, and overall organism. Before we dive into this, we have to take a look at the 4 ingredients that are the pillars on which your dental health will be rebuilt: Ervignia gaboensis, arginine, maca, and niacin. Firstly, Ervignia gaboensis, more commonly known as the African mango, is the main ingredient that the Kenyan tribes use in their sacred rituals. And no wonder they do. This amazing plant has a wide range of uses, and while it has analgesic properties, it is also a formidable antioxidant and antimicrobial substance. The boiled bark of this fruit has been proven to have powerful effects on your teeth. This amazing plant's extract is going to supply your saliva with even more antibacterial power while providing calcium and vitamin C. Now, there's one thing you should know. The calcium found in this ingredient is not your run-of-the-mill calcium. Due to this supplement being dispensed as a solution via dropper, you get the maximum benefits of it with no side effects. Calcium, as you might know, is one of the most important elements that can help make your jawbones healthy and your teeth sturdy, making them more stable inside your gums. While we're talking about gums, the vitamin C found in Ervignia gaboensis is going to provide your gums with the strength they need to hold your teeth tight and in position with no risk of them getting loose anymore. What is even more important about this is that the lack of vitamin C has been widely associated with periodontitis. Plus, no more than 18% of the vitamin C we ingest orally gets absorbed into our bloodstream, so you will definitely need this supplement to boost that amount. Another thing you must know about is that it is even harder for your body to absorb vitamin C if it comes in solid form. So, if you're thinking about buying pills or supermarket bottles of supplements, trust me, you're making a huge mistake. You probably don't have the time nor the money to spend on those useless treatments. That urgency is part of the reason behind us choosing droplets as a form of administration for this magic-like liquid. The second ingredient on this incredible list is arginine. Now pay close attention to this bad boy because it's going to work wonders for your teeth. Arginine is an amino acid which is naturally found in your saliva. It basically has the same roles as you would expect. It shields your teeth from caries and occlusions. Think of it this way. Your saliva alone cannot protect your entire oral system from outside threats, but when you add a few drops of this product, which is rich in arginine, in your mouth, your saliva will be even more powerful and it will be able to shield your gums and teeth in no time. Impressive, right? But you haven't heard all of it yet. If you're struggling with hypersensitive teeth, arginine gets you covered. It helps your gums and teeth build the resistance they need in order to not let other chemicals attack your nerves and provoke you any kind of pain. Third, we have maca, a short name, yet a very powerful component of this serum. Maca is a Peruvian root that has been used as a medical component for centuries. Maca is an extremely powerful antioxidant which starts by cleansing your salivary glands and helping your saliva fight off the toxins that are damaging your teeth. This amazing herb will provide strength to your gums and jawbones, working towards an overall better oral system. But this is not the only reason why we choose maca. Besides being filled with calcium, this wonder herb has many amazing effects as well. Maca is known to boost your energy levels, so if you take this in the morning, it should have the same effect as your usual cup of coffee and none of the downsides. Just think about it. You are going to be energized for the whole day while strengthening your teeth and eliminating one of the main dangers to your teeth as well. It's amazing, right? On top of that, maca helps with your mental clarity, memory, and stamina too. In fact, a lot of athletes use maca as a natural enhancer for their workout rituals, and Incan warriors were said to consume maca before battle to increase their power. So your teeth won't be the only ones that will be rejuvenated. Your entire organism will be as well. The last one of those 4 amazing ingredients is niacin. Niacin is a form of vitamin B, one of the most important vitamins to supplement your saliva with if you want to have strong, super white teeth. Not only does vitamin B in the form of niacin help you with your bad breath, but it will also help your bleeding gums. Just think about it. No more metallic taste in your mouth, and you will also have fresh breath again. Niacin acts as an agent that stops the bleeding, refreshes your breath, and rebuilds the weakened gums to come back as strong as ever. And the list goes on with 7 more teeth and gum strengthening plants, herbs, and minerals which are meant to do one thing: completely rejuvenate your oral health and get you back those pearly whites and strong teeth you deserve. As you imagine, I wanted to be the very first person to try this product. I used this product once a day in the morning or at bedtime when I forgot to do it in the morning. I put a drop of it under my tongue and I swirled it around with a good amount of saliva for a few seconds. The reasoning behind this was that your saliva is the only liquid that can get this life-saving liquid everywhere at once. Even though you use this supplement, it is still your saliva that acts as a courier and delivers it all around your system. Zero pain, zero displeasure when it comes to taste. Now, I must admit, in the first days, I didn't notice any results. I was starting to get discouraged. Luckily, Dr. Mason was there to cheer me up and keep me going. "Let's at least get through the first week and see if something changes after that," he said to me patiently. Needless to say, he was right. Something did change after the first week. There were no traces of blood after brushing my teeth. I couldn't believe my eyes. For the first time since I moved to the big city, I wasn't spitting blood anymore. Most of my plaque was gone as well, and my once stained teeth were now beginning to look a lot healthier and whiter. Seeing this unbelievable progress, we decided to look for more people to test our formula. We posted a listing, and about 40 people from the university Dr. Mason was teaching at agreed to be part of our secret testing. They each had to fill out a form daily in order for us to properly be able to follow their progress. I knew that it would take more than 2 weeks for even the first reports to come in. However, never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined that even after a few days, everyone's gums and teeth would start being rejuvenated. Dr. Mason himself was staggered by how quickly his own shallow symptoms faded away. As for myself, I kept on testing the formula until one morning I woke up and there was no trace of that metallic taste in my mouth, no more bad breath, and most importantly, my gums were now strong enough to hold my teeth in place. It felt like my disease was just an old nightmare and my life was becoming worth living again. My family no longer turned their heads around in disgust when I wanted to hug or kiss them. Our friends started actually visiting again, and my students were no longer mocking me. In fact, I suddenly became their favorite teacher. As we went to collect the other people's reports, the results left us in complete shock. From all the people that took part in this test, none of them reported any signs of plaque, gum inflammation, or tooth pain. Plus, none of them struggled with bad breath or loose teeth anymore. And all they did was use this risk-free method for a few weeks. Now, having seen the results of this life-changing treatment, we knew we had to go public, especially considering the fact that all of the people that took part in these tests kept coming back for more, whether it was for them or their loved ones. But if we did do it, we needed to make sure that as many people as possible would be able to get their hands on this, since this was nothing less than a magical potion. Had we produced it ourselves, it would have taken us weeks, even months, and thousands of dollars, only to be able to find and extract the purest, most refined ingredients from all around the globe. And even then, we would have only been able to create enough bottles for so many people, and that would only last them less than a week. We knew we needed to contact a manufacturing facility in the US for which we could provide the ingredients, and they would be able to take care of the entire process. Now, before we moved on with this, I had only one request that was not up for discussion. If we did this right with the highest quality ingredients. No compromises of any sorts, only the best products were to go into this potent mixture. Sourced only from local growers who use no pesticides or herbicides whatsoever and let their plants mature naturally. Due to Dr. Mason's network, we managed to find a pristine, FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility that made us jump with joy for 2 reasons. One, it had incredibly strict disinfection protocols, so any dangerous bacteria or germs were kept at bay. And 2, it was as discreet as it was large, so we could go forth with the process without worrying too much about Big Pharma hearing about our groundbreaking discovery. Our blend is 100% natural, and due to this, we didn't need any approval from the government agencies in order to produce this formula. And so, we decided to call it Salitol. the only 100% natural, non-GMO solution that fights the root cause of tooth decay, gum disease, and any other oral diseases that you might struggle with. The toxins and chemicals found in our everyday foods. Every drop of this product is 100% natural and manufactured right here in the USA. Salitol does not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins, and you will not get addicted. Well, we can't promise you won't be addicted to its results, though. The magic of this product comes not only from the 11 natural, highest quality ingredients that are found in it, but also from the fact that getting rid of bad breath, oral infections, or tooth decay will be a piece of cake, and all this with zero downsides. This solution is guaranteed to have more effect than any other toothpaste, treatment, or any other pills out there on the market. Not only does it target and annihilate every little poisonous substance found in your mouth or under your gums, but it also works wonders on strengthening your teeth and gives you the whitest, brightest smile. As for side effects, the only side effects you are going to encounter are total teeth rejuvenation and a healthier, rejuvenated organism. Plus, your pockets will now be filled with the money you would have otherwise spent on medical intervention or useless dental treatments. But no need to take our words for granted. Just listen to what the 143,600 other people have to say about their experience with Salitol. For example, Jonah J., 53, from Denver, Colorado, told us, "My tooth decay and bleeding gums are now just a bad memory that I laugh about with my friends. Ever since I started using Salitol, my life turned around. I can now enjoy the little things in life. My family is even happier because up until Salitol, I had lost my will to live, but now everything we do ends up in joyous laughter." Or Jennifer T., 49, from Columbus, Ohio. "My husband used to worry about me daily. I hadn't gotten a good night's sleep in months. The toothache kept me up at night, and when I finally thought that painkillers would soothe my pain, they stopped working. But since this magic solution came into my life, our family has been saved. I no longer have trouble sleeping, I wake up energized, and all of that because I am not experiencing any toothache whatsoever. Plus, my once loose teeth are now stronger than ever, and I have Salitol to thank for that." And James B., 66, from Seattle, Washington says, "I never thought that fixing my teeth would be so easy. One drop of this magic potion a day, and in about a few weeks, all of my problems were gone. My gums felt stronger and rejuvenated, no more plaque or loose teeth, and most important of all, they gained their bright white color back in no time. I am only able to smile and laugh with joy because of Salitol and the amazing team behind it. Thank you, a million times, thank you." Everything you have to do in order to be as healthy and happy as the people you just heard is to start using this amazing, bioabsorbable, easy-to-use solution immediately. It's more simple than you think. And in the next 2 minutes, I will show you how to get access to everything. After hearing all this, it should come as no surprise that Salitol is superior to absolutely any other so-called solution to fixing gum disease. Everything that is out there at the moment only works short term, and they're either way too expensive or they don't address the root cause. However, Salitol is totally different. Not only is it natural, non-GMO, and easy to use, but it is proven to be completely efficient when it comes to fighting the toxic substances that enter your mouth and multiply by the thousands every day. These are the same toxins that corrode your teeth and burn your gums until the only thing left of them are some helpless, destroyed shadows of their past selves. Of course, going to a dentist is always a solution, but let me ask you something. Is being tortured by hellish drills that chip away at your teeth and sharp blades that slash into your gums until they bleed worth it? Especially knowing that you're going to pay a lot of money for some sadistic methods that are not 100% guaranteed to work? Thousands and thousands of dollars spent on countless torture sessions, at the end of which you will find yourself crying from pain and still getting toothaches and bleeding gums? No pocket elimination surgery or gum grafts are effective enough to fight the army of chemicals and toxins that march into your mouth each and every day, attacking and killing our oral system. And if you're thinking of getting implants, think again. You are just going to waste heaps of money and a couple of years of your precious time only to see that they were useless nonetheless. And even if you are part of the small percentage of people whose implants succeed, remember, They are not forever. Most implants have a 10-year or less guarantee, and the only things that are going to help you in that time are those useless run-of-the-mill toothpastes or gum strengthening creams. Nothing will be strong enough to defend your dental health. Of course, nothing aside from Salitol, the only supplement in the form of a dropper on the market that can fix your cavities, inflammations, and plaque in the blink of an eye, while also keeping you safe from future infections. Before you say yes to the product that is guaranteed to change your life for the better, you should ask yourself, how much would I be willing to pay for full control over my life and oral health? $50,000? $10,000? $5,000? Now, despite the fact that Dr. Mason advised me to sell the 30-day supply of Salitol at $897, factoring in the time we spent researching this product and the tests that we have run, my own wife suggested the price of $597 after seeing how changed of a person I am now. And not to mention, our suppliers mentioned the price of $397 just for how high quality the ingredients are. The thousands of people that tried this product even said they would pay triple its price due to how amazing the results were. But neither myself nor Dr. Mason are in this for the money. I am never going to forget how I felt after I heard those students talk about me the way they did. How my own family were turning their heads away in disgust, not even bearing to look in my direction if I got close to them. Those bleeding gums, those decaying teeth, and not to mention my horrible smelling breath. All this could have easily ruined my life. Not to mention, I was always at risk of coronary disease or brain abscesses. I never wish for anyone to go through the same painful moments as I did. This is why asking for insane sums of money was out of the question. I just want to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep this site up and running for as long as possible. Sadly, in order to do that, I may have to charge $97 for one flask of this formula soon. One bottle is surely not as expensive as a single visit to the dentist, but it's guaranteed to solve your problems more easily and less painfully. Plus, you don't run the risk of facial nerve damage, since Salitol is 100% non-invasive and risk-free. Now, while this site remains up and running, which may not be a long time, considering that Big Pharma would give anything to shut down this efficient and cheap solution, you can now get your 30-day supply of Salitol for a one-time, 100% risk-free investment of no more than $69. Yes, you heard me right. Only $69 for this effective, simple, and yet incredibly potent method of healing your teeth. Now, there's something else you should know. If you order the 3 or 6 month packages, you get an even bigger discount. And there's a very good reason behind it. Both Dr. Mason and I experienced the effects of Salitol firsthand, as well as the other 40 initial brave volunteers. Not to mention the 143,600 people that have already used Salitol, that now have stronger, sturdier pearly whites, and no longer experience bleeding gums, tooth decay, and bad breath. This is why we recommended using this incredible mixture for 90 days, just to make sure that you are 100% shielded from the dangerous, life-threatening germs that make their way into your mouth every day. It is impossible for us to estimate how many chemicals and dangerous toxins you may have in your mouth right now, especially in your gum pockets. This depends on your diet, on your dental habits, and many other factors. This is why, after seeing the positive results of more than 143,600 people, we recommend you take the 3 bottles at the very least, so you can see the amazing results of Salitol. Especially since it will probably take a little over 70 days to make sure that your entire oral system is wiped clean of any traces of germs, toxins, and bacteria. 3 bottles of this amazing formula are going to shield your whole system and help your saliva eradicate any dangerous chemical that is going to come close to your gums and teeth, while also cementing your roots and whitening your teeth. The 6-bottle package of Salitol is going to make wonders in your system. Plus, there's one more crucial aspect that you should know about. Missing just one single day of Salitol is going to put at risk your entire progress, so please be careful. After a while, when you smile at yourself every morning in the mirror, you will see this: a strong, protected oral system with teeth so white, even snow is going to be jealous. and you will feel more empowered and confident like you have ever felt in your entire life. That is, only if you decide to use Salitol without hitting the pause button on this process. Because if you do, it might take you weeks or even months to get its engines running again at full capacity. My advice? Don't risk running out of Salitol. It's just not worth ruining your health again just because you missed one single day. Also, you should know that Salitol sells very fast. And once it's sold out, it's going to take us up to 9 whole months to get another batch ready, since we're only looking for the best ingredients. We are still going to support you however we can, though. That is why we're letting you order the 3 and 6 bottle packages at a huge discount. Another thing that you should know is that Salitol is not available anywhere in stores or supermarkets, this site being the only way you can secure your stock at the cheapest possible price. On top of that, once you decide to order today, you will be spared the shipping costs. Look below this video and select your package now. You will then be redirected to a 100% secure checkout page. For your convenience and safety, we are using a payment software that is used by the top bank systems too, which means all of your data is 100% protected. You can choose to pay via credit, debit card, or even PayPal. After you fill in your information and confirm your order, your shipment is going to arrive discreetly, swiftly, and for free at your doorstep. And again, if you order the 3 or 6 bottle package, you will receive a huge discount. Hurry, because we're probably going to run out of stock very, very soon. Remember, your order today is a simple one-time payment with no hidden fees or subscriptions and is guaranteed to change your life completely. Salitol is only available for purchase on this site and this site only, so this is your one-time chance to get your hands on it. Also, one more time, missing just one day of Salitol can compromise your entire progress, so once you buy it, you wouldn't want to run out of it. Look, the dental industry is estimated to reach the staggering value of $40 billion in just a matter of years, thanks to millions of honest people who have been cluelessly buying their life-threatening treatments and paying for their expensive interventions. No wonder big pharmaceutical conglomerates are hunting down every alternative solution on the market that can conveniently help you with your teeth problem. All that effort just so we can continue using their overpriced, useless products. I get threats from these filthy rich conglomerates on a daily basis. After all this hard work and pain, risking your family's safety isn't something that you can allow to happen for a long time. You should know what I'm talking about. So I urge you to choose Salitol today while you still can, while I could still keep this site live in spite of Big Pharma's pushbacks. Save your oral health and even more, your happiness and peace of mind. I understand if you're feeling skeptical right now. You must have tried a lot of methods, but to no avail. None of them seem to work. Plus, you probably spent more money than you can even count on interventions and treatments. But all of that ends here on this page. I am so confident that Salitol will work that I am going to offer you our risk-free 60-day money-back guarantee. If after using this solution you don't see any improvement on your oral health, or if you're simply not happy enough with the results, we'll offer you a full refund. No questions asked. Just contact us within 60 days of your purchase and you will get all your money back. It doesn't matter if you use the whole bottle, I will personally see that you get every single penny back. After all, you have 2 whole months to decide if Salitol is good enough for you. No hidden fees whatsoever. A simple, secure, and 100% risk-free investment. All you have to do is choose the offer that you think would suit you best from below. It somehow feels you're now at a crossroads, wondering which path you should take. The first path would mean to stop watching this video and leave this page. You do nothing and you keep going just the way you are now for who knows how long. But your gums and teeth won't stay the same. They will continue to grow more sore, the itch is going to be even more worse, and the pain will start becoming so unbearable that you would rather die than feel it again. Your life is always going to be at risk, with brain infections and coronary disease knocking at your door, ready to threaten your life at any moment. Trust me, I've been there. Now, the second path is completely different, and quite honestly, this is the only one that actually makes sense for you. Get this product right now, and you will be stunned by how easy it is to be happy and healthy again. No more plaque, inflamed gums, or anything like that, all with just a single drop per day for a few weeks. Click the button below, choose your preferred package, enter your payment details, and place the order right now. We will ship the bottle straight away right to your doorstep. No shipping charges, no hidden fees, nothing. It's absolutely guaranteed to change your life. I can't wait for you to become one of the 143,600 success stories of Salitol. Still here? Amazing. That means I have a little more time to answer some common questions I receive about Salitol. Everything about this is to make sure you are fully comfortable and satisfied with the decision to order our supplement today. 1. Can you tell me how this works again? It works like this. Modern science has come to the conclusion that all the food we eat nowadays is infested with harmful, toxic chemicals that put our bodies and dental health at risk every single day. These substances act like small yet incredibly dangerous droplets of acid that are sure to corrode your roots and burn your gums until they start bleeding, hence the metallic taste in your mouth. Sadly, your body's natural cleanser, your saliva, is virtually helpless against the thousands of chemicals assaulting your dental health. Fortunately, Salitol has been designed with one purpose in mind: clearing your teeth, gums, and body of dangerous substances while providing your saliva with the power it needs to act swiftly and effectively against them too. 2. Is Salitol safe to use? Salitol has been created for all ages and medical conditions, and it addresses the root cause of gum inflammation, tooth decay, and plaque. The dangerous substances that come riding in on our modern food are currently eating at your enamel, roots, and gums as we speak. The most important thing you can do today in order to ensure your oral health into old age is to start using Salitol. It has all the high-quality natural ingredients that your mouth needs. Plus, it is manufactured in a highly sterile, FDA-approved, and GMP-certified facility. Every ingredient that went into this magic dropper has been tested for purity, and their qualities have been ensured by certified scientists. However, if you do have a medical condition or are currently taking other prescription medication, we strongly advise you to show a bottle of this formula to your doctor prior to taking it, just to make sure everything is in order. 3. How do I take Salitol? Just a few drops of this supplement, administered orally and swirled around with saliva for 5 seconds, should do the trick. This should be enough to activate all the amazing substances in our product. You should do this process daily, either in the morning or in the evening, in order for you to properly clear your body, teeth, and gums. 4. What if it doesn't work for me? Can I know more about the 60-day guarantee? Looking at the amazing results of this formula, we strongly believe that Salitol holds the power to rejuvenate your oral system to its core. Now, we know that not everything works for 100% of the people trying it, since everyone's organisms respond differently. This is why we set this ironclad guarantee. If for any reason you are dissatisfied with the results of our product within 60 days, simply return what you have not used for a full refund. No questions asked, no hidden fees, simple as that. 5. How long will Salitol be available for? This is a very tricky question, but I'm glad it's here. There are a lot of cases in which the dental industry showed us that Big Pharma is not afraid to spend millions of dollars in order to remove something so revolutionary and groundbreaking from the market. After all, wouldn't you spend all this money in order to save a $40 billion industry? So all you have to do to be sure is to click the link below today. Fill in your details, submit your order, and become one of the success stories today.